there, I'm Vita. Thanks for joining me for today's video on supporting our hip, knee, and feet health. So we're actually going to start with our feet flat on the floor, and I'm just going to lift up. So I'm just pushing down on my feet, and if your shoulders slide, that's okay. Allow them to. And I'm just lifting my hips up and shifting, gently moving from one side to the other, putting pressure into my feet. As always, you want to stay in range of comfort for yourself, right? And if you have to be a little bit lower, or if it doesn't feel good for you to lift off of the ground this way, then just skip this. You can also just rock from side to side with your knees up. And just allowing this feeling, right? Just getting a sense of where your sacrum or tailbone is and where your hips are when they're even. Because a lot of times we walk around with an imbalance and we don't really know. So this kind of gives your body the opportunity to check in and let you know where even is. So after you've done that for as long as feels comfortable, shooting for 30 seconds, 45, maybe even a minute, and you can build up to that, right? Everything that we practice, we get good at. So if you practice shifting in this way with your hips lifted, you will get good at it. One of the gifts of being human. So slowly and gently drop your hips back down. Allow your shoulders to shift if they need to. And then go ahead and do some just gentle side to side, allowing your knees to go to one side. And when you reach either the floor or the edge of what's comfortable for you, go ahead and just pause there, taking a few deep, slow breaths. Then gently and slowly return to center with your knees pointing up toward the ceiling. And again, simply pause and take a few deep, slow breaths. If you notice that your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, go ahead and just drop it. Let it hang loose. And then gently and slowly, you're going to go to the other side. And again, when you reach either the floor or the edge of what feels comfortable to you, go ahead and just pause there. Take another few deep, slow breaths. Now you can pause and repeat this move as many times as feels good to you. If you're looking for an expansion in this stretch, then it will, again, as you practice it, increase over time. And gently and slowly return your knees to that central position. And again, just pause there. And we're not going to hold our bodies rigid, right? If your body wants to shift, go ahead and let it. Our bodies are wise. And so when we intend to find center, our bodies will help us get there. And that's what we're working with this. Just rebalancing our hip and lower bodies. Now we're going to start some gentle hip tilting. So I'm lifting my belly and my back off the floor just a little. So there's a slight gap there now. And then I'm going to pause and take a few deep breaths. And again, you're only going to the edge of what feels comfortable for you. And then slowly and gently allow your back to settle back toward the floor. And I'm going to lift the bottom of my glutes, the gluteal area, and I'm just slightly lifting, so my tailbone is still on the floor, just gently pushing down on my feet to lift up a little bit, and that's tilting the hips the other way and allowing my back to really go down deep. And from that position, again, you're going to take a couple of nice, deep, slow breaths. Remembering that on that comfort scale of 0 to 10, you really want to stay under a 6. And that's your scale, so whatever a 6 means to you is perfect. Go ahead and release and go back to neutral. You just don't want to create any strain on the body, right? We're releasing tension. No reason to try so hard that we end up putting more back in. So again, you can repeat that move as much as feels comfortable to you. If you feel like there's something that wanted to be worked out there, then just stay with it. Pause this and repeat it a few times. Again, our bodies are wise and yours knows best for you. And when you're ready to move on, you're going to lift your feet up and put them on the wall, or have this handy chest here. So my feet, you can see, are slightly higher than my knees, and my knees are just at a little bit more than a 90-degree angle from my hips. And this is just opening up all of my circulatory areas and giving them a slight boost, right? And from this position, I'm going to tilt my feet up. Now, if you have a ledge like my feet are on right now, then I have the ball of my foot, right? This top part under the toes, the middle of that is what I have pressed against that ledge. Otherwise, you can just use the wall. Again, it's just about staying comfortable. So I'm going to point my toes and then take a few deep breaths. And then slowly and gently allow my heels to drop back in. And then I'm going to put my toes toward me, as far as they can go, as much as is comfortable. Take a few deep, slow breaths. And then back to that neutral position, just flat. And then go ahead and point your toes again. Back to that neutral position, and pause with a few deep, slow breaths. And then point your toes toward your head as far as you can. And if you notice, I've got a slight increase in the amount that my toes are coming toward my head. And that is what happens when we practice. And then go ahead and return to neutral. Take a few deep, slow breaths. And when you're ready, you can put your feet back down, knowing as always that that is something that you can continue to practice, and you can stay with each and any of these moves for as long as feels right to you. My microphone popped on the screen there. So thank you for joining me for this video. I hope that your hips and knees and feet really enjoyed it. Just be gentle with yourself and explore the motion that feels good for your body. That is truly the best way to find improvement, because again, everything that we practice, we get good at. And when we really build our mind-body connection and support that bridge and growing, then we learn how easy it can be to just tune in and offer our body what it needs. I love you. I love me. I love us. I'll see you soon.